I did not realize I was going to be staying up till 3:30 a.m. just to cover all the brand new cards that are coming out in the next few months. And honestly, it's going to be very crazy to see what else they have in store for us through Blazing Dominion. And also, on top of that, we have more cards for Limit Overpack that we're waiting on. But let's get into it. We have a lot of articles to go through, and let's talk about it. So first off, we're going to be looking at the new botanical garden for Yuri's Predaplant cards. There's a total of 6 of them. So let's get into it and let's talk about them. So first off, we have the brand new Starving Venom Winged Dragon. Yes, that's right. It is a fusion between both Starving Venom Fusion Dragon and Clear Wing Synchro Dragon. And it is a Dark Dragon Fusion Pendulum Effect monster. Pendulum scale of 10. It's a level 10 with 3300 attack and 2500 defense. The pendulum effect is each time a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field, place one predator counter on each of them, and if you do, any of those monsters that are level 2 or higher become level 1 as long as they have predator counters. This card's absolutely insane in the pendulum zone. Then after that, we have the monster effect. It takes a fusion monster plus a clear wing monster. Once per turn, if your opponent special summons a monster's face up, you can target one of them. Until the end of this turn, this card gains attack equal to that monster's. Also negate that monster's effects. Once per turn, when another card on the field field activates its effects, you can destroy one card on the field as a quick effect. Then, if this card is in the monster zone is destroyed, you could place it in the pendulum zone. Overall, this is a great brand new boss monster for the whole entire Predaplant archetype, and I cannot wait to see how players use this in their strategy. Because we also have Predaplant Lilizard. It is a level 3 plant monster that is dark with 1200 attack and defense, and you can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. If you control a Predaplant monster or a Starving Venom monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then you can add one polymerization from your deck to your hand. So being able to search out polymerization is really good, and you can target one face-up monster on the field. Its attribute becomes dark until the end of this turn. And if this card is special summoned from the graveyard, you could draw one card. This is a really useful card, honestly, and I could definitely see many players using a copy or two of this just because it grabs you a special copy of polymerization from your deck, and it all needs just a Predaplant monster. Or if you summon it off of Orpho Scorpio, it is still alright to have just another name just to summon out, but honestly, being able to summon it out and then search a poly is much better. Next up, we have Predaplant Longophilia. It is a dark plant tuner effect monster, level 1 with 600 attack and 100 defense, and you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one Predap card from your deck to your hand, except another copy of the Longophilia. And the second effect is you could banish this card from the graveyard, then activate one of these effects. Place one Predator counter on one face-up monster on the field, and if it is a level 2 or higher, it becomes level 1 as long as it has a Predator counter. Or you can set a polymerization from your graveyard to banishment. This is a really good card because it allows you to add a copy of Predaplant Blips from your deck to your hand, or even add the copy of Lilizard from your deck. Then we have the brand new Synchro monster being Predaplant Bolte. It is a dark plant synchro tuner effect monster with 1900 attack and 1000 defense. And it takes a tuner monster plus one or more non-tuner monsters, which makes a lot of sense because they want you to go into the Longophilia, into the Lilizard, just to synchro into this. And you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is synchro summoned, you can special summon one Predaplant or Starving Venom monster from your face-up extra deck or graveyard. If a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field, you can banish this card and one polymerization from your graveyard. Fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field. This is a really good card because, well, being able to summon out the new boss monster from the extra deck is really good, but being able to summon out anything from the graveyard is also really strong. Then we have the Preda Primitive normal spell card, and you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. It sends a Predaplant card from your deck to the graveyard, except a copy of itself, to add a polymerization spell or a fusion spell from your deck to your hand. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn after this effect resolves, except plant and dark and dragon monsters. If a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one fusion monster you control and destroy it. And this is a really good card because you can send blips off of it. You can send multiple other cards that can revive itself from the graveyard. And just being able to search out a polymerization or a card that says fusion in its name is really, really good. So something like, what are some good instant fusion, ready fusion you can grab? So that's really good. You could go into Dark Fire Dragon as a level 4 Dark Dragon if you need to. And then we also have Apex Fusion. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn, and neither player can activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. Pay 2,000 life points and target one effect monster on the field. Special summon one monster from your extra deck with the same type and attribute, but a different level. Its effects are negated, then apply one of these effects. Either fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using both monsters, or send the summoned monster to the graveyard. So you could target something like a Starving Venom to summon out a different Starving Venom, so you can go into another Starving Venom, or just go into stuff like the generic fusions that you can go into. So overall, the new Predaplant cards are really good, and I could definitely see them becoming a contender in the meta, especially after this new support wave. Even though that they're weaker to Bystials, or just weak in general to Bystials, this support is still really great. And then we also had a separate article for the Apex Fusion, but that's absolutely fine, so we could just skip over that. So we have some new era stuff here for the limit overframes, and honestly, a lot of these are really cool. We have Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, wake up your elemental hero, shooting Quasar Dragon. Number 99, Utopic Dragonar. You have Arcry, Odd Eyes Arcry Dragon, Firewall Dragon Singularity. Then you also have Kurikara, the Divine Carnet, Mirror Jade, the Ice Blade Dragon, Super Polymerization, and Dominus Purge for the heroes. And then for the villains, you have Dragon Master Magia, Chimera Tech Mega Fleet Dragon, Red Supernova Dragon, number 62 Prime Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. Then you also have Supreme King Zark, Boral, Boral and Dragon, which is honestly a good one. Chaos Angel is absolutely amazing. Underworld Goddess of the Closed Fort or Closed Heavens is good. The new Spirit Charmer or the Spirit Charmer quick play spell that I don't remember the name of, and Dominus Impulse. Now, in my honest opinion, if I were to say where this would be, it would probably be in a future rarity collection, maybe rarity collection 5 if they really do it. But this feels like a rarity collection 6 thing to do, but we're going to have to wait and see on that. As honestly, a lot of these are really good, and I really want to get a copy of the Dominus Impulse and just do like a limit overframe collection, one of each. But these are probably going to be extremely hard to pull. But there's also a serialized version of it, which is going to be talked about in a little bit, which it is going to be somewhere around here. I think I have a tab open for it. We also have more limit over cards that we need to take a look at, but I do want to pull up an image of the new rarity that they have included along with this, which is honestly very cool. So let me pull up the image real quick. We have the new rarity. It is called Grandmaster Rarity, which is probably the serialized card, and it really looks like a Rush Duel card at the end of the day because it completely wipes away the borders. So think of it like a Overrush rare that's 100% no borders at all. So this is going to be really cool seeing what they can do in the future with a lot of these, and I think everything that has a overframe will get this, or only a select few will get the Grandmaster rarity. And this is great for collectors because honestly, we needed something new that wasn't Ultimate Rare, Starlight, or even QCRs, so that's actually very good. Next up, we have the reprints for the +1 pack that the OCG gets, but this is going to be our 101 slot card for Blazing Dominion. It is going to be, well, you see, this is Red Nova's Dragon's alternate art in Starlight Rare. This is an absolutely beautiful card, and I cannot wait to see what else is going to be in Blazing Dominion. But overall, very cool artwork. And then after that, we can see a lot of the +1s, which are a lot of the good cards that need to be reprinted, like all the Resonators, your Bone Archfiend, Red Nova Dragon, Resonator Call, Crimson Gaia, Red Rain, the Predaplant cards from Blips to Darlington Cobra to even Buffalicula, the other fusion or the other pendulum and the fusion along with the trap, the fairy tale cards for the new fairy tale cards support. So overall, this is a good +1 pack. Then we also have a brand new Red Hypernova Dragon, which is the reflection of Shooting Quasar Dragon, which honestly, this card looks insanity. It is a Dark Dragon Synchro Effect Monster, level 12, 4,500 attack and 3,000 defense, and it takes 4 tuners plus 1 plus non-tuner synchro monsters, and it must be synchro summoned with the above material, so I don't think you can cheat it out with Crimson Dragon. Overall, that's actually really good. So yeah, there's that. Gains 500 attack for each tuner in your graveyard, so that's going to make it a big beat stick. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects, also cannot be destroyed by their card effects. Who doesn't like a good towers? Once per turn, quick effect, you can banish this card and as many cards in your opponent's control and in their graveyard, and if you do, special summon 1 Red Nova Dragon from your extra deck, and this is treated as a synchro summon. So you can banish everything that is on their field into the graveyard, just as summon out the whole entire Red Nova Dragon from your extra deck, so you can have an appropriate way to OTK the opponent. And honestly, this is a really good card. The feature duel that they had was absolutely amazing, and I would love to watch it again when I have free time. Next up, we have a new Synchron and a new Junk Warrior support, and we finally have the Sonic Warrior upgrade into the Assault Sonic Warrior, and the Assault matters. It is a Wind Warrior effect monster, level 2 with 1,000 attack and 0 defense. You can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. If you control Junk Warrior or Assault Mode activate, or a card that mentions either of them, you could special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add 1 Synchron monster or Assault Mode activate from your deck to your hand. And if this card is sent to the graveyard as a synchro material, you can activate this effect. This turn, monsters you control will gain 500 attack. So being an additional piece that was missing from the structure deck is really nice to finally have, and I'm glad it didn't take years just to get it because this card was teased for quite some time. And then next up, we have a card that many Synchron players will absolutely love, being Junk Signal. This is a brand new quick play spell, and you can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. Activate one of these effects. You cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except synchro monsters. Tribute 1 monster, special summon 1 Junk Warrior, 1 Stardust Dragon, or 1 monster that mentions either of them from your hand, deck, or graveyard except the tributed monster. And honestly, you could tribute your Junk Speeder so you could have a way to really just play around targeting negation. And when your opponent activates a card or effect in response to the activation of your synchro monster's effect, negate that opponent's effect. So you could do one or the other, but honestly, this is really good because now you have a way to combat hand traps against your Junk Speeder. So overall, this is a good buff to Synchron decks, and I cannot wait to see how these cards are a great addition to the deck going into the future. After that, we have brand new Charmer cards as well. 3 brand new cards compared to the 4 from the previous one. We have a new Link 4, a new Possess, and a new spell card. We have 4 Charmers in Profusion. This is a Link 4 that points left, right, bottom left, and bottom right. It has 1850 attack. It is a light, and it takes 2+ monsters. And you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. This card gains 300 attack for each attribute amongst monsters on the field. Once per turn, while face up on the field, during the main phase quick effect, you could target 2 monsters in your graveyard with the same type or attribute, special summon both, but this card cannot be used as material for a fusion, synchro, exceed, or link summon until the end of the next turn. This is absolutely fine in my opinion because, well, you're going to be using this for your end board. So it is definitely a interesting thing because one of the things I could think of is targeting something like a IP and another monster to summon them back. So you can get back the IP and you just have free material whatsoever. After that, we have Familiars of the Spiritual Arts, and these guys are so adorable. It is a level 4 water reptile effect monster with 1500 attack and 200 defense. It is centered around Gigabite, Firefox, uh, Petite Dragon, and the Archfiend, Nefarious Archfiend, which I don't remember the full name. This card is always treated as a familiar possessed card, and you can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is normaled or special summoned, you can add one possessed spell or trap or Grand Spiritual Art Etrian from your deck to your hand. You could declare one type and attribute. This card becomes the declared type and attribute until the end of this turn. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effects, you can special summon one spellcaster monster with 1500 defense from your deck or graveyard. Um, I would say you could run the Arch Nemesis Pro as Shadows in this, and then you now have any single type that you want. And that is very crazy to think about. So, if you call right, you have free knowledge of what the opponent's pretty much playing, and they can't really do anything about it. So, this is a really powerful card, and I could definitely see a lot of things going wrong with it in the future. And then finally we have Possessed Resonance. It's a normal spell card, and you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. Target one face-up monster on the field, special summon one Charmer or Familiar Possessed monster with the same attribute from your hand, deck, or graveyard in attack position or face-down defense position. Then you can change the targeted monster to face-down defense position. And you can also banish this card from your graveyard, then target one monster you control, change its battle position. This is really good with the Charmers to set up their flip effects to make them very useful going second, but also it makes it where you can summon out an easy Link monster for 2, and it fills up an additional material. So if you search out 2, you can summon them out with the fusion, and then you could just use this to summon out a third, so you have multiple monsters available for Link summons or whatever you really need. So overall, the Charmer cards are really good along with the Structured Chronicle cards, and honestly, I'm really fine with that. After that, we have new anime cards from the Limit Over collection from the Heroes and Rivals. We have Underworld Circles finally being printed in the TCG and OCG after so long. You can only activate one card with this card's name per duel. Activate if there are 5 or more monsters in each graveyard, destroy as many monsters on the field as possible, then each player banishes all monsters from their deck face down, then you can special summon one normal monster from your graveyard. Once per turn, during the standby phase, each player can special summon one of their monsters from their graveyard, ignoring its summoning condition but banish it when it leaves the field. Yeah, that's really strong. Yeah, banishing all monsters from their deck face down. That's really strong. So, honestly, this is going to be a tech that many players will play in the future. Next up, we have Master Spirit Tech Force Pendulum Ruler. It is one of Declan's monsters, his end all be all monsters. It is 3500 attack, 3000 defense, level 12 Light Machine Fusion Pendulum Effect monster. Scale of 1. The pendulum effect is you can only use the pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn. During your main phase, you could return this card to the extra deck, then you can add one level 7 pendulum monster from your deck or face-up extra deck to your hand. You can loop Astrograph Sorcerer, if I remember correctly, because I think that's a 7. And then the monster effect. Oh boy. We have one level 7 or higher pendulum monster plus one pendulum monster. You can only use a third effect or a third monster effect of this card's name once per turn. Cannot be destroyed by battle. Your opponent's monsters cannot attack except pendulum monsters without a level. Your opponent's monsters cannot attack except pendulum monsters without a level. Okay. Oh yeah, because the exceeds, yes. You contribute one monster, then target one card your opponent controls, destroy it, and if you do, inflict 1600 damage to them. Okay. And once per turn, you can place this card in your pendulum zone. Okay, this is a very interesting card. Um, The burn is random, but hey, time rules are different, so it's definitely something else. Overall, it's an interesting monster from the anime, so yeah. Then we have Gatlin Ogre, which is a level 3 Fire Fiend effect monster with 800 attack and defense. And you can only use the first effect of this card's name thrice per turn. You can send any number of set cards from your spell and trap card zone to the graveyard, inflict 800 damage to your opponent for each. Also, your opponent takes no damage from non-fiend monsters' effects for the rest of this turn. Once per turn, when this card is targeted for an attack, you can inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each of their attack position monsters, then end the battle phase. So this could be ran in Fiendsmith the Red Dragon, and you could probably FTK them. So that's one thing to look out for. And then finally we have Infernity Doomslinger, or it is the Des Goodman in the TCG from the video games. Level 1 Dark Fiend monster, 100 attack and defense. This is literally a 1-for-1 target. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. During your main phase, you can special summon one Fiend monster from your hand. This is really good already. So you can summon out any Fiend monster. This is good in Magical Musket. You can also use this in Fiendsmith. You can pretty much use this in Unchained as well. If you have no cards in your hand, quick effect, you can banish the card from your graveyard. Your opponent chooses one of the effects that are for you to apply. Reveal the top card of the deck, and if it's a monster, your opponent takes damage equal to you. Any equal effect damage you would have taken this turn, or otherwise you take 4,000 damage. Or you take no effect damage this turn. So overall, this is very interesting, being able to have a way just to stop effective damage, and on top of that, being able to have a 1-for-1 target for many Fiend decks is really good, just to summon out a Fiend monster from the hand. So overall, this is a very well-deserved card finally printed. And finally, let's get into the Overframe cards, and this is going to be a long time. There's a total of 12 of them, and they're all retrains on monsters that were used by the main characters, the heroes, and the rivals to the heroes. So let's get into it and let's talk about it. So first up, we have the brand new, oh yep, there's the Grandmaster rarity, Dark Magician, the Pharaoh's Servant. It is a level 7 Dark Spellcaster effect monster, 2,500 attack and 2,100 defense. You can only use one of the second and third effect of this card's name once per turn, and only once that turn. This card's name becomes Dark Magician while on the field or in the graveyard. You could reveal one spell card in your hand, special summon this card from your hand, then you could set one spell or trap card that mentions Dark Magician from your deck. Quick effect, you could discard one spell, destroy all spell trap cards your opponent controls. So this replaces Magician's Rod, because it can get to you any of your Dark Magician spell or trap cards from your deck to the field instantly, just setting them, and being able to have a quick effect board wipe, a spell or trap card wipe against your opponent is also really strong. After that, we have the brand new Stardust Dragon Victim Sanctuary. It's a Wind Dragon Synchro effect monster, level 8, 2,500 attack and 2,000 defense. It takes one tuner plus one or more non-tuner monsters, and you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. Also, you cannot activate them in the same chain. When your opponent activates a card or effect in response to the activation of your card or effect, quick effect, you can tribute this card and negate the opponent's effect, and if you do, destroy that card. And then if your monsters was tributed this turn, quick effect, you could banish this card from your graveyard to special summon one Stardust Synchro monster from your extra deck. You can summon Stardust Spark Dragon, you can summon out Stardust Chronicle Dragon, or yeah, Stardust Chronicle, Stardust Dragon itself. So you have a Stardust to summon out a Stardust, which is honestly really good. After that, we have Favorite Hero Shining Flare Wingman. It is a light warrior fusion effect monster, level 8, 2,100 attack, and or 2,500 attack, 2,100 defense. One fusion monster plus one face-up monster on the field. This card is always treated as an elemental hero card, and you can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is special summoned from the extra deck, you can shuffle 5 monsters from your graveyard into the deck, then draw 2 cards, and if you do, this card gains 1,000 attack, making it 3,500, and it's literally just Pot of Avarice. If this card destroys a monster by battle, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack. So it's just a Shining Flare Wingman, but better. And honestly, I love the shuffle 5 back to draw 2, because it really gives an additional consistency to Hero itself. Next up, we have number 39, Utopia, the Envoy of the Light. It is a brand new Utopia variant that is a rank 4 with 2500 attack and 2000 defense. Warrior. It cannot be destroyed by battle except with a number monster. They finally gave it its claws. Quick effect, you could detach one material from this card, then target one monster you control. The first time it would be destroyed by battle or card effect this turn, it is not destroyed. When the second attack of this turn is declared, you can make this card gain 2500 attack, and if you do, it gains this effect. When this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can special summon it to your field. So this is literally you attack with something first, then attack with this, activate the effect to make it gain 2500, and then it gains the effect so you destroy the monster and take it from the opponent. So overall, this is just a Goyo Guardian on a rank 4, and I could definitely see many players trying this card out and using it in multiple different decks. After that, we have Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon of the 4 Heavenly Dragons. Dark Dragon Pendulum Effect Monster, Pendulum Scale 4, level 7, 2500 attack and 2000 defense. And the Pendulum effect is you can only use the Pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn. During your main phase, you can destroy this card, and if you do, add one Pendulum monster with 1500 attack or less from your deck to your hand, also for the rest of the turn. Unless you Pendulum summon after this resolves, you cannot activate monster effects on the field, so they want you to search out Pendulum Sorcerer. Monster effect is you can only use the second monster effect of this card's name once per turn. This Pendulum Summon card gains these effects. Gains attack equal to the difference between the pendulum scales of your two cards in your pendulum zone times 300. So you can have it anywhere from 300 all the way up to 12. Um, so 3600, that's actually really crazy. Any battle damage you would have taken from battles involving this card is double. Okay, so it does double damage, and if this card is in the monster zone, is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can add it to your hand. Then, if it was destroyed by your opponent, you can special summon it. So you definitely want to search out Pendulum Sorcerer. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Sure. And then after that, we have Decode Talker Integration. It's a Dark Cyber Link effect monster that points up, bottom left, bottom right. 2300 Link 3. 2+ effect monsters, and you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. This card in the extra monster zone gains 500 attack for every other Link monster on the field and in the graveyards. Also, your opponent cannot target it with card effects. This is absolutely insane because if you run a heavy Link deck, you're going to be getting a lot of attack. Quick effect, you contribute one monster this card points to. Send one Cyber's monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. Also, this card can make up to 2 attacks on monsters during each battle phase this turn. Overall, this is a really powerful monster, and I could definitely see decks like Malice using it. Now let's finally get into the last article post, and oh my lord, I'm going to bed after this. We have the Limit Over Collection, The Rivals, and it is all the ace monsters. And first up, we have Blue Eyes White Dragon, the Phantom, or the White Phantom Beast, and yes, it is a part of the Phantom Beast series of cards. So this is kind of funny. It's a level 8 light dragon effect monster with 3000 attack and 2500 defense, and you can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. When this card is added from the deck to the hand or your monster is destroyed by battle, you could reveal this card and special summon it. It does miss timing because it is a win effect. If this card is special summoned from the hand or deck, you could destroy all monsters your opponent controls. Also, you can only attack with Blue Eyes monsters this turn. When a card or effect is activated that targets this card on the field, quick effect. You could discard one card, negate that effect. You now have a new Omni Negate for Blue Eyes that can summon itself out, which is honestly really crazy, and it's a Melody of the Awakening Dragon target, so you can run this to summon it out, and then you have a whole entire Omni Negate if something gets to target your monster or cards on the field. Next up, we have the Crimson Dragon Quetzalcoatl. It is a Dark Dragon Synchro effect monster, level 12 with 0 attack and defense, and it takes a 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner monsters, and you can only use this card's name's first and third effect once per turn each. If this card is synchro summoned, you can special summon as many dragon synchro monsters from your graveyard as possible. Also, for the rest of the turn, you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. This card gains attack equal to the total attack of all of the synchro monsters you control, and when your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you could return one other dragon monster you control to the extra deck, and if you do, negate that activation. This card is really crazy, especially in Centurion, because, well, they can make it quite easily. And it's another card you could summon off of Crimson Dragon. You could summon Crimson Dragon, Quetzalcoatl off of Crimson Dragon. So overall, very powerful card, and I cannot wait to see how this will adapt the format in the future. Then we have Cyber Dragon, or Cyber End Dragon, the Decisive Strike Dragon. It is a light level 10 machine fusion effect with 4,000 attack and 2,800 defense. This is one of them that I got to read early, and this card is absolutely crazy. It takes three machine monsters, I should say, with 2,100 attack or more. Must be fusion summoned, and you can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. If you control this fusion summon card using only light monsters, you can pay 4,000 light points, add 1 limited removal from your deck to your hand. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage. And this card, whose current attack is higher than its original attack, can make a second and third attack during each battle phase. This is literally just saying, punch, 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 I win the game. So they have a huge payoff that's a high risk, high reward for Cyber Dragon. And this is kind of a remnants off of the old Cyber Tech Overload Dragon OTK. So this is really nice to see that this is finally a thing. Next up, we have Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon Photon Howling. It is a light dragon exceed effect monster, rank 8 with 4,500 attack and 3,000 defense. 3 level 8 monsters, or once per turn, you can exceed summon this card by using 1 rank 8 exceed monster you control, transfer its materials to this card. Sure. If this card is exceed summon, you can take 1 photon monster from your deck and either special summon it in defense position or attach 1 card to this card as a material. Okay. Quick effect, you can detach 3 materials from this card, tribute 1 other exceed monster, and if you do, negate its effects or all other face-up cards currently on the field until the end of this turn. This card's really good, honestly. Detaching 3 materials, tribute 1 other exceed, and you just blanket negate. Yeah. Okay. Blanket negates are really good of all face-up cards on the field. Then we have the Starving Venom Fusion Dragon of the 4 Heavenly Dragons. It's a Dark Dragon Fusion Effect monster, level 8, 2,800 attack, and 2,000 defense. It takes 2 dark monsters on the field, and this card is always treated as a Predaplant card. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn, and if this card is special summoned, you could target 1 other face-up monster on the field, change its attack to 0, negate its effects, also becomes a dark attribute. And then finally, when your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can fusion summon 1 dark fusion monster from your extra deck using dark monsters on the field, including this card. This is a really powerful card. I could definitely see people using it as a super poly, so you could summon this out, and then you just have another way to fusion summon it against the opponent to go into another Predaplant fusion monster, or just anything that takes 2 dark monsters. So really, it's a really powerful card, and I cannot wait to see how this affects the format in the future. And then finally, we have Boral Load Liberator Dragon. Dark Dragon Link Effect Monster, 3,000 attack, Link 4, points left to right, bottom left, bottom right. And it takes 3 plus effect monsters. You can only special summon Boral Load Liberator Dragons once per turn. And once per turn during the battle phase, quick effect, you can place 1 monster your opponent controls in a zone this card points to and take control of it. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. And once per chain, if this card is in your graveyard, you can quick effects to target 1 monster you control, destroy, and special summon this card. So really, it's a very powerful card. Sadly, you can only special summon it once, but overall, I think a lot of these cards that we saw tonight are really good, and I cannot wait to see how well, what else there is that's going to be in the Limit Over collections and Blazing Dominion is going to be. But realistically, I do have to say that I'm really excited for Blazing Dominion and the Limit Over pack. And tell me what your guys' thoughts are down in the comments below. But anyways, I have been BoltSpider. I need to go to bed, and I'll see you all in the next video. If you all enjoyed this video, hit that like button down below. And if you want to show support, please hit that subscribe button as well. And I do also have channel memberships. And if you want to support the channel more, it would be much appreciated. Thank you to FGH for supporting the channel. And I'll see you all in the next video.